Wala sa Biblia yung Huwebes Santo, Biyernes Santo. Unang-una, hindi naman namatay si Kristo ng Biyernes. Namatay siya Miyerkules ng hapon. Kung pag-aaralan mo ang Biblia. Maling paniniwala na sabihin mo si Kristo, namatay ng Biyernes ng hapon. Tapos inilibing siya nung hapon. Tapos nabuhay na siya nung Sabado. Lalabas, isang araw lang siya dun sa libingan.
E.L. Soriano said, there are no such Holy Thursday and Holy Friday, but he said every day to them as Pasco or Pascu as he said, so how could there will be no Hecky Thursday and Holy Friday? Is it not the day when Jesus was born and died? To him is not holy. He said Jesus didn't die Friday but Wednesday. Doesn't E.L. Soriano understand what he is writing? It was written, when Jesus died, in the very day he died he must be taken away from the cross, because the next day is Sabbath, so meaning the day he died is Friday, and after Sabbath, the next day Jesus risen from his grave, so as it is Sunday, the first day of the week that time. It's just that almost all can't understand what they are reading, as it's so understood that the said 3 days is not about 3 hours, but 3 names of days, or 3-day time, as it is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or 3 days is not 3 days and 3 nights, as this is not like about Jonah, who was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the whale. If you people understand this John 2 verse 16 to 21, you will know that what Jesus had said is 3 days, which means 3 names of days, or 3-day time, not 3 hours. That is why all what the apostles are saying is 3 days, not 3 days and 3 nights. So if your sense of knowing if what is right and wrong is working well, then you will believe the narrated series of events written in the Bible than the one writing only. You should understand that the Matthew 12 verse 40 was erroneously written. There are many writings in Bible that are unintentionally erroneously written, as the other are intentionally erroneously written. The example of intentional erroneous writing was when the Grecian or the Bible Society let themselves be influenced by the writings of Martin Luther or the King James Version. The Bible and Quran justify that the Bible or what were written will not be corrupted, so that just means what they are saying corrupted Bible are not indeed the true Bible, but the counterfeit Bibles. So if the Codex Vaticanus and or Codex Sinaiticus were not changed, like the old NIV version, then these are the proofs of what was written in Bible and Quran.
Panginoon Kristo hindi nagsisinungaling kahit kailan. Sabi niya kung paanong si Jonas nandoon sa tiyan ng isdang malaki na nagdala sa kanya sa Ninibe. Ganon din ang wika, si Kristo mapapasailalim ng lupa 3 araw at 3 gabi. Sabi niya kung paanong si Jonas nandoon sa tiyan ng isdang malaki na nagdala sa kanya sa Ninibe. Ganon din ang wika, si Kristo mapapasailalim ng lupa 3 araw at 3 gabi.
E.L. Soriano teachings always contradict against each other. He said Jesus will not lie, but he said Jesus did not make known himself as God, because it will comes out that he will lies, as it is his interpretation of John 7:18, but he preached many verses that Jesus made known himself as God, so as it means Jesus lied. That Matthew 12 verse 40 was erroneously written, or was Abe Blanchard the one who written it, as a consequence of attending or doing so much works. The fact that said, from Friday to Sunday it counts 3 days and 2 nights. But as the fact what Jesus had only said is 3 days, which means 3-day time, not 3 days and 3 nights, as what was he who said in John 2 verse 16 to 22.
Bakit Biyernes Santo? Bakit Santo? Bakit yung ibang araw ba, diablo o masama?
E.L. Soriano is fond of making poor and stupid philosophical reasonings. He said, what calling them bitter and sandal and Huwebes Santo, and said why? Is the other a diablo or bad? To E.L. Soriano means if God called the priests as righteous, then the apostles or the prophets are devils. Or if God called the Sabbath as holy, then the other days are unholy. The fact, if is decent, that means was made to be holy. It doesn't mean as, because the vicar of Jesus made the Friday to be holy, because it's the day that Jesus had died to save the mankind, then it would divest the other day of being made holy. As God said he made the Sabbath holy. Did not E.L. Soriano knows about Semana Santa. If E.L. Soriano doesn't believe this, then he defies the teachings of Jesus, as this is indeed in the teachings of Jesus.
Ang nangyayari sa maraming tao wala ngang santo Walang santo sa araw-araw Bakit? Araw-araw may patayan, araw-araw may lasingan, araw-araw may holdapan, araw-araw may katiwali ang nangyayari. Tama ang sabi ni Pablo na ang mga araw ay masasama para sa taong hindi sumusunod sa Diyos. May mga araw na masasama sa mundong ito. Kaya pagka sumusunod ka, ang utos ng Diyos ganito, sa 5:16 ng Epeso, sa mundong ito, mayroong mga araw na masasamang talagang masasama. Halos araw-araw. Kaya ang utos ng Diyos sa mga Kristiyano, doon sa unang Pedro, Kapitulo 3, versikulo 10,
E.L. Soriano is really always acting stupidly, just because there are bad peoples, then he will judge the entire days that there is no sin. To him even the apostles and Paul are not saints, that all the good things they had done are worthless. But ironically sometimes he also preach that the saints are all who follows God's Jesus will, so do he mean they are not following God and Jesus? This is like also as he preached that the Christmas song, Silent Night, is wrong, and because it has a lyrics of Holy Night, all is calm. Then he said, how could it be silent night, and holy night and all is calm, as when it is Christmas it is so noisy, and lots of crime and quarrel, not understanding that the songs is talking about when Jesus was born. So why E.L. Soriano attributing the wrongdoing of the bad peoples to that song? As the fact, it is not the crime and violence that reigning during Christmas, but it is love, only that, just like a white coupon bond, if you put a dots, then it is what will be noticed by those poor in mind. As the devils always find a way to destroy the truth. That Ephesians 5:16, it is not God's teaching, it is just a mere opinion of Paul, and it is not every day and not as about the day as what you have said. Paul is just referring for the wickedness or transgressions that the wicked or the transgressors are doing. There is no day which is bad, for God made all the days. It's not because disbelievers doing bad in such days, then you will judge that all days are bad. So again E.L. Soriano contradicted his own teachings of reading the 1 Peter 3:10, here, there are indeed good days, as not because those wicked doing bad things every day, then there will be no more good days at same time. So this proves that Paul didn't mean that it is the days are bad, but Paul just means the wicked things that the wicked people or the transgressors are doing in the days, as it doesn't mean that it is the days that are bad. Do you mean if in the same days, numerous God's people are doing good things, then you still judge that the days are bad? And he said, so if you are following God, then the command of God is the Ephesians 5:16 making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. Indeed this is a mere teaching of Paul, so if E.L. Soriano said, all days are evil, then he said, this Ephesians 5:16 is the commands of God, so as E.L. Soriano means, the command of God is for evil, or to make all days evil, as from earliest time then until now. But E.L. Soriano also teaches that the teachings of Jesus is for the sinners, so why he said, if you are doing good, then the command of God is the Ephesians 5:16, so he means, the other words of God are not for those who are doing good. As I've said, if anyone started it from wrong or if anyone ain't able to preach wrong, then his other teachings will contradict his own teachings, or so every time it will entangle that he could never fix it at all, so how much more for all those big sects? If he said there are people who are doing good, then why says all days are bad? He only judged the days by the doings of the wicked, so all but God's and Jesus are no days. But it's not true, only that E.L. Soriano just always misinterpreting what he is reading. Again, as I've said, the Ephesians 5:16 just referring to the wickedness or bad doing of those peoples, as Paul means, at the time, many are doing evils, it's not about the days are the ones that are bad.